Welcome back, dear students. So moving ahead, coming to the Indian Councils Act of 1909. This is also famously called the Morley-Minto reforms or Minto-Morley reforms. Either ways you can call it. So Morley and Minto. Lord Morley was the Secretary of State for India at that time. Now Lord Minto was the Viceroy of India. You remember this term Secretary of State? The office of Secretary of State was created by the Act of 1858. Okay, so now Minto was the Viceroy and Morley was the Secretary of State. Moving on to the features of the Act, the first one is that it considerably increased the size of the legislative councils. So both at the central and at the provincial levels, the size of the legislative council was increased. So the number of members in the Central Legislative Council was increased from 16 to 60. In the case of provincial legislative councils, the number was not uniform. It varied from province to province. The second feature of the Act is that it retained official majority in the Central Legislative Council, which means non-official members could not be a majority in the Central Legislative Council. Okay, but in the case of provincial legislative councils, non-official members may be a majority, right? So they don't mind even if the non-official members are in majority. But in the case of Central Legislative Council, only the official members can be in a majority. So official majority was a must. The third feature of the Act is it enlarged the deliberative functions of the legislative councils at both the levels. So deliberative functions of the legislative councils were increased, which means they could have a little more discussion in the council, in the legislative council. For example, they could now ask supplementary questions, they could move resolutions on the budget, etc. The fourth feature is that for the first time, Indians were allowed to associate with the executive councils of the viceroy and governors. Till now, we saw that Indians were associated only with the legislative councils and they had no association with the executive council. But for the first time, the Morley-Minto reforms or the 1909 Indian Councils Act associated Indians with the executive council of the viceroy and the governors. So Satyendra Prasad Sinha becomes the first Indian to join viceroy's executive council. The next feature is that it introduced a system of communal representation for Muslims. So this was basically done by accepting the concept of separate electorate. See, what is communal representation or separate electorate? Under this system, the Muslim members were to be elected only by Muslim voters. Okay, so this was called legalized communalism, and hence Lord Minto came to be known as the father of communal electorate. So to elaborate on, okay, so Lord Minto came to be called the father of communal electorate. To explain briefly what is communal electorate, as it is already mentioned, it is a system of separate electorate, which means that Muslim voters will come together and elect a Muslim representative for them, right? So this was this was in 1909 or through the Morley-Minto reforms. This was granted only to the Muslim voters. So see, today we have constituencies reserved for SC or ST community or even women candidates. But communal electorate is different. See, in communal electorate, Muslim voters come together and elect a Muslim representative, right? So this was basically to give spark or fire the religious sentiments and religious animosity that was already in the minds of the people. So this was a landmark. So this feature, communal electorate, is very very important because this has very long lasting implications, and this even ends in the or leads to the partition of the country in 1947. So this is a very important feature of the Moore-Lamento reforms. Okay, the last feature is that it also provided for separate representation of presidency, corporations, chambers of commerce, universities and zemindars. Okay, so that's about the Moore-Lamento reforms or the Indian Councils Act of 1909. Thank you.